We've been told our whole life that sleep is important. But why do so many of us fail to get enough sleep? Of course there are many reasons, but work, school, and lifestyle appear to be the most common. Personally, I've always saw sleep as something very strange. I mean, every night you lay in bed, pretty much dead, and then in the morning you come back to life, often feeling like a zombie. I used to feel this way all the time. I would struggle and refuse to go to sleep at night, but as soon as I woke up the following day, I wanted nothing more than to stay in bed, especially if I had to wake up early. Hell, sometimes I would even stay up until 7 a.m. just because it was a lot easier than waking up at 7 a.m. Before I learned the importance of sleep, I would always try to get more out of life by basically doing anything I enjoyed instead of going to bed. Like many people, I was working full-time, and having to wake up early every morning made me feel like I didn't have enough time for myself and the things I wanted to do. Basically, after working all day, I didn't want to waste 8 hours of my life every night by sleeping. But usually, after only a couple days with very little sleep, I would feel the effects on my body. My mood, my work productivity, and my memory were most heavily affected by this. Ironically, this made me waste even more time during the day since I would take naps from being so tired. According to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 out of 3 adults don't get enough sleep regularly. This can vary from person to person, but it is recommended that adults between the ages of 18 and 60 sleep at least 7 hours each night to promote optimal health and well-being. This doesn't apply to everyone, but it does apply to the vast majority. A small minority of people are genetically gifted enough to require less sleep. These individuals are called short sleepers, and they sleep less than 6 hours each night. But before you start to think that you're one of these people, only about 1% of the population is affected by this gene.
But I sleep less than 6 hours all the time, and I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, you're most likely sleep deprived, but have gotten so used to being tired, you don't even realize it anymore. On that note, I should mention that there is also something called biphasic or polyphasic sleep. This is when you split your sleep into 2 or more phases. You're probably wondering how this works. Well, this is something I'm planning to cover in a future video, so be on the lookout for that. But back to the topic at hand. What exactly are the benefits of getting enough sleep? It's obvious that the way you feel during the day is heavily dependent on the rest you had the night before. While sleeping, your body and brain are working to promote healthy brain and bodily functions. Your brain is preparing your mind and body for the next day. In fact, studies show that a good night's rest actually improves learning, memory, attentiveness, and creativity. As seen in this study conducted in 2016, suggesting that sleep deprivation inhibits the induction and consolidation of memories, but not the recall of memory. Meaning that learning and storing information under these conditions is not optimal and may even be counterproductive. While sleeping, your brain cells are being strengthened and information is being transferred from short-term to long-term memory. This means all those all-nighters you pulled studying for your exams may have actually been less effective than you might think. Next time, don't procrastinate. Study in advance and get some quality sleep the night before. Your brain also takes the information it scattered throughout the day and forms new pathways to help you problem solve. As seen in this study conducted at the Lancaster University in the United Kingdom, sleeping helps to synthesize new ideas and innovation, often leading you to those aha moments. An example of this would be John Lennon, who wrote a best-selling song appropriately titled Number 9 Dreams, based off of a dream he had. And more recently, Christopher Nolan claims that the inspiration for his film, Inception, came from his own lucid dreams and his own attempts to manipulate them. Just after several nights of losing sleep, even as little as 1 or 2 hours each night, your ability to function suffers as if you haven't slept for a full day. Studies have shown that a lack of sleep will alter the activities in different regions of the brain, as seen in this study conducted by the University of Turku in Finland, which suggests that a lack of sleep induces changes in one's cognitive performance. This causes many people to experience headaches, find it difficult making decisions and solving problems, and a slight effect on their basic motor skills as well. A lack of sleep can make a person more irritable and less in control over their emotions and behavior. This can lead to bad episodes in your personal life and as well as in your place of employment. You never want to be that guy who randomly snaps at someone for doing something as small as clicking their pen in the office just because you're cranky. Have fun explaining that one to HR. Sleep deprivation can also result in higher levels of stress, poor work efficiency, a slower reaction time, and making more mistakes, resulting in poor performance in school and lower job productivity at work. In fact, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 58% of middle school students and 73% of high school students have reported that they aren't getting the recommended hours of sleep. Sleep deficiency has also been linked to depression, suicide, and risk-taking behavior. Those who are sleep deficient may experience problems getting along with others. This is especially true in children and teenagers as they are still going through the process of puberty. They may feel angry and impulsive, have mood swings, feel sad or depressed, or lack motivation. They also may have problems paying attention and ultimately result in higher levels of stress and lower grades in school. When it comes to the body, your immune system, muscles, as well as the release of important chemicals and hormones all depend on you getting a healthy amount of sleep. During sleep, your body is preparing itself to protect you at a moment's notice. Your body produces cytokines, which are protective proteins that stimulate and work together with your white blood cells to fight infections and inflammations during the night. Without proper rest, your immune system, among many other things, is severely weakened, but research shows that catching a cold is the least of your worries. According to the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, a lack of sleep is associated with an increased risk in developing chronic conditions such as obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and mental distress. Quality rest is especially important to the state of your physical body. A study conducted by the Southwest Interdisciplinary Research Center and the School of Social and Behavioral Sciences at the Arizona State University linked a lack of quality sleep to an increased body mass index and excess weight gain. The research found that half the participants with a BMI of 25 or more experienced poor quality sleep. If you're planning on losing weight but not planning on sleeping right, then I've got some news for you. According to this study conducted by researchers at the Brody School of Medicine in Greenville, North Carolina, a lack of sleep results in an increase of the hormone ghrelin and a decrease in leptin. These hormones are responsible for regulating a person's appetite. An increase in ghrelin promotes hunger, while a decrease in leptin reduces your satiety perception. Basically, a lack of sleep increases the chances of overeating, while also altering your body's metabolism. As if that wasn't enough, another study conducted by the Department of Nutritional Sciences at the Pennsylvania State University suggests that those who want to lose fat but are sleep deprived may actually lose more fat-free mass, such as muscle mass, rather than actual fat. Sleep is troublesome especially for those who are overweight or obese, as they are more prone to a lack of sleep and disorders such as sleep apnea, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This only makes weight management even more difficult, resulting in a vicious cycle where you constantly have a reduced metabolism, an increase in hunger, and lack quality sleep, all while you pack on more weight. Regardless of whether you want to build muscle or lose weight, being committed to getting healthy and consistent quality sleep is probably one of the most important steps you can take. If you're trying to build muscle or training for any physical activity without adequate rest, you will actually limit your gains and reduce the power and strength generated from your muscles, as well as your speed, hand-eye coordination, and reaction time, which is incredibly crucial for anyone practicing martial arts or sports. A study conducted at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health found that better sleep may reduce both injuries and illness in athletes, as well as enhancing their performance. As for weight training, any bodybuilder will tell you that your muscles don't just grow from working out, they grow while you rest. This is because your body is working to repair all the damage you've done to your muscles during your workout, so that it'll be stronger the next time you use them. One of the ways your body does this is through the release of human growth hormone, or HGH. According to this study from the Department of Medicine at the University of Chicago, while you sleep, or more specifically during slow wave sleep or stage 3 sleep, is when the release of growth hormone typically happens. Though HGH is also released while training, as much as 70% of it is released while you sleep. HGH promotes healthy metabolism, helps muscle growth, cell reproduction, and cell regeneration, making it very important to your everyday life. Another result of sleep deprivation is known as microsleep. According to the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, microsleep refers to a brief moment of sleep that occurs when you're supposed to be awake or performing a certain activity. Microsleep can't be controlled, and you most likely aren't aware of it either. A very common example of this is while you're driving somewhere seamlessly on autopilot, and then you snap back into reality without any recollection of the last couple minutes. Driving is not the only instance microsleep can have a troubling effect on you. Particularly in students who are lacking sleep, listening to a lecture may be very difficult. You may feel like you don't understand what's going on during the lecture, but more often than not, you may have fell asleep through a part of lecture and not have been aware of it. Many people aren't aware of microsleep. In fact, many people don't even realize that they are sleep deprived. Sleep deficiency or even poor quality sleep can be as harmful to your driving ability as much as or even more than being drunk. This can make it very difficult for you to keep your eyes open, or can even cause you to swerve your car out of your lane momentarily. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, sleepiness while driving results in an average of 83,000 crashes per year, 37,000 crashes resulting in injuries, and 880 resulting in death. Even while at work, including healthcare workers, pilots, students, lawyers, mechanics, and assembly line workers, microsleep can be very troublesome. This is not only harmful on a personal level, but can potentially lead to large-scale damage. The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute states that sleep deficiency is linked to human errors that have led to tragic accidents such as nuclear reactor meltdowns, contamination in the hospital, and aviation accidents. So after hearing the effects of sleep deprivation and the benefits of getting enough sleep, how can you make sure you're getting enough quality rest? It goes without saying that individuals should make sure that getting enough sleep is made a priority. By creating a sleep schedule and sticking to it, you can build a habit of sleeping and waking up around the same time every day. For most people, that would be going to sleep at a reasonable time, such as 10 or 11 p.m., and waking up at around 7 a.m. Keep in mind that most adults should be getting at least 7 hours of sleep each night. Electronics also play a huge role in us not getting enough sleep. Try to keep your phone or laptop out of reach from your bed. Make it a habit of not using any electronics such as your phone, computer, or TV at least 30 minutes prior to going to sleep. This way, your mind won't wander as much, allowing you to fall asleep much faster. Also, make sure you avoid caffeine, smoking, and drinking alcohol at least 4 to 6 hours before bedtime, as this will help you get a better night's rest. Having caffeine prior to going to sleep is particularly bad. This is because caffeine tricks your mind into thinking you're no longer tired. So even if you are able to get 7 hours of sleep, a sleep monitor will show that you aren't actually going through the ranges of REM and deep sleep properly. So 7 hours of sleep can actually feel more like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. Getting regular exercise during the day will help you fall asleep faster, as your body will be drained and knows it needs to make repairs to your muscles. Adjusting the light and temperatures in your room will also help you get a good night's rest. Though setting an alarm is very helpful in waking you up on time, it can actually interfere with your sleep. It is ideal for your body to wake up on its own, though for many people this can be quite difficult. If you need to use an alarm, only set one and make sure that you don't hit the snooze button. Research suggests that hitting the snooze button on your alarm over and over again is not the best way to feel rested. According to Edward Stepensky, a psychologist who studied at the Rush University Medical Center in Chicago, stated that the restorative value of rest is diminished, especially when the increments are short. This may explain why we can wake up feeling rested at 7 a.m., but feel terrible if we hit the snooze button and wake up just 10 minutes later. That just about covers the importance of sleep and how to get the rest you need. Thank you for watching my video all the way to the end. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment telling me your thoughts. While you're at it, why not share my video? It helps me out greatly, and I know that you know someone that's always sleep deprived. You know who I'm talking about. I'm also looking forward to releasing more content, so if you'd like to see more, please be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified for my next video. Thank you and stay healthy.